Answer. Papastem sikasun. So we're back today, and today we're going to be doing showing you how to prepare the mosogut for the moose nose and the chin that we took. So those that watched the moose harvesting video that we did out in the bush, I showed you how to cut off the moose's nose and the chin, as well as when I took the tongue and all of that from the moose. Now we're going to show you how we prepare the mosogut, or the moose nose. Few things, of course, you need before you prepare. You need a nice hot fire, a pair of gloves because you're going to be handling the nose while it's still hot, one good sharp knife, and one good really hard blade knife because you're going to be scraping the hair off as it dries. So those are the things we need. Now what I've done is I've already washed the nose out, and it's still just wet from the water. So I'm just going to scrape off that water as much as I can, although it doesn't really matter because we're going to be burning that off anyway. But the drier it is, the quicker it'll burn that hair off for us. So with the nose, first thing we've got to do is we can see how the nose did look on the moose. Nostrils are here, but we've got to open this right up so you can see this cartilage in the middle here. We're going to actually be taking that out. So we'll first cut along the edge of that cartilage, and then right where the line is here, you can see sort of where the thinnest part of the nostril where it hooks on. I'm going to cut through there to open that up like that. Same thing to the other side. I'm just going to cut alongside there. I want it opened right up because I want to be able to burn off all of the hair from this mosogut. So now I've got both the nostrils cut open and it's wide open. So now I want to cut this cartilage out. So I'm just going to go against the cartilage of the nose. Open that up. Some people leave this in while they're preparing the nose. I usually just cut it right out while I'm preparing the nose because some use it just to grab onto and work with the nose as you're burning it. So I'm just going to cut along this cartilage here, cut out that cartilage because of course we're not going to be eating that anyway. So I've got that cut out. My nose is ready to go onto the fire, and this is going to actually take a long process. Probably going to take about 2 hours to burn all of the hair off of here. But that's how we start. We open it up, toss it onto the fire, and we're just going to let it burn that hair off and singe that hair off. So when I took the mosogut, you also saw me take the moose's chin because it's the same as same kind of texture meat and everything that's on the nose. So again there, I'm just going to try and rinse off some of this water just so it dries faster and the hair will start to burn off. And with that, I'm just going to throw it on the fire like this. Spread it out, and just like the nose, I'm going to burn that hair off as well. So again, this is going to take altogether probably about 2 hours. As after when I've started to see that water get burnt off and start to see the hair start to singe, I'll just keep pulling it off and scraping it, and we'll show you that when we do get to that point. For now, I'm just going to keep moving it around so it gets the flame and it dries off quicker and starts to singe the hair off. So we're just going to let this go for a while until we get to the point. You can see where it's starting to singe the hair off, but I want to really get it singeing that hair off. So we're just going to leave that for a while, and then we'll come back when it's ready to start scraping. Alright, so we've sort of got them starting to singe the hair off. We've just been turning the mosogut every now and then just to get an even singe on the hair. One thing I forgot is with the chins, what happens is once they start to dry and start to singe, they'll try and curl up. So they'll try and curl right round. So what I've done is I got 2 flat rocks to keep them flattened out as they're singeing, and you'll see I've got the flat rock on each of them just to keep them flat so we can get all of that hair singed off. So with this one, you can see here we're already getting to the point where we're getting close to where we want it. So we'll pull it off and we'll singe off that, we'll scrape off the part that's already burnt where the hair has singed off, because we want to get it till it's right down to just skin, absolutely no hair on there. So I've scraped off all of the burnt hair now, and I'm just going to, because this is just the burnt hair on the fire, knock that off a little, put it back, maybe move it a little, put my rock back on to keep it flat so that I can get an even singe on there. And I could probably do the same to the other one here. Scrape off that hair that's already blackened and singed. See, because once I scrape that off, I get this little fuzz hair there. So I want to make sure that every little bit of hair is burnt off of here before it's ready to cook. So I've got all of that singed hair off. I'm just going to flatten it out and open it up a little. Put it back on with my rock on there. Just to flatten it out. It's the same with mosogut. We're getting to that point where we could start to scrape it. So again, you've got to make sure you've got your gloves because it does get hot. Scrape off wherever you can. Again, you want a good hard, thick knife, not a flimsy knife. And you'll see where it's going kind of white here. That's where the hair has completely burnt off and singed off. So I want all of it to look like that. So that's when I know that all of the hair has been singed off of there. But we're not quite there, because you see here I've still got that little bit of fuzz in there. But it's important that you continuously scrape off the black singed hair to expose that little fuzz of hair in there. And it is a long process and a slow process. And I'll put that one back on, grab the other one. You'll notice here I've got 2 sets here. That was because from before I had another nose and chin that was given to me, because unfortunately a lot of people don't do this anymore for a bunch of different reasons. It's for one, it's a lot of work. Secondly, a lot of people don't know how. So this other mosogut and this chin were given to me because a lot of the hunters in our community here know that I'm one of the few that does still do this regularly. Again, there I've scraped off most of the, but you can see these little tufts of hair. I want those burnt off. So back on the fire it goes. And we just keep continuing this process until we've scraped off all of that. And you see here with the chin, because this hair is kind of here, I want to face that towards the flame so that that hair is getting burnt off. And I'm going to kind of tip it up because the flames are not quite getting to it right. But you can see here, I can tell by the smoke that the flame is hitting that hair now and singeing it off. So I know with both Mosogut, we're getting really close because you saw a lot of places where that you can see where the skin, the hair has completely come off and it's burnt off, like on this one. And again, I'll just keep alternating, moving it, taking it, scraping off that hair and putting it back on. Once I see places like this, I don't really have to scrape there anymore because I know the hair is gone from that place. I'm just scraping the places where I can still see a little bit of that fuzz there, that hair from the nose. And I'll put it back on. Check the other one. Do the same. I can see the black spots here where the hair has burnt off. Scrape those off, just those pieces. If I continue to burn this spot, it doesn't matter because I'll continue to scrape it anyway afterward. But I can see here where there's still a lot of hair here. I want that completely burned right to the skin. And I try and place it where I can see flames coming up to where that hair is. Now with this one, almost there with the chin, but I can still see where there's hair on it. So once I get to this point, I'm going to have to keep turning it because it has rounded right out and curled up. So I'll just set it against the nose onto a place where I see the hair is been exposed. Now when you're getting to the point where it's actually starting to cook the nose, or the chin and the nose, because they start to bubble with the greases and stuff from inside them. Like you can see the bubbles here where it's starting to cook it actually. But we don't need to do that right now, so I'm going to place it to where there was some hair. And we just continue to go through the same process over and over. I'll just keep taking it, and you see I'm getting closer and closer with the chins for sure. You can see this one is really getting close. And this chin here is pretty well done because you can see I've got it to where I can scrape right down to the skin completely around it. Yeah, so that one's pretty much done. So actually the last thing I want to do with this is sort of burn on the inside a little bit, just to burn out any of that any impurities in there and get that burnt out in the fire. So I put it back in while it's curled up, skin side down. This one as well, you can see it's really bubbling now, and it's pretty well done as well because I've scraped right down to the skin. And I've got just a bit more to go on this side. So now this chin here is actually completely finished. So I'm going to give it one last scrape, get all of the black off of there where it was burnt. Completely scrape it clean. So now with this chin, now that I've got both sides burnt, and I've got all of the hair burnt off right to the skin, no hair at all, just the skin. Last thing I need to do now, soak this in water, give it a good wash before I get it ready to cook. So that chin is done. I'll grab the other one because I could see it's starting to bubble, telling me that it's actually starting to cook. Completely scrape that off. So all of the charred bits I'm scraping off. I've got the majority of it again there. This one as well is finished, ready to go into to get soaked and washed. I'm just going to get my rocks off of here because I don't really need those right now. And I think our noses are just about to the point we want them. So we'll get ready and show you the next step with those. Alright, so with this one you can see we've pretty much got it completely singed. I'm getting right down to the skin now. There is no more hair at all on this side of the nose. Absolutely anywhere. So I'm just going to scrape all of the charred hair and skin off of there till I get this nice yellowy brown tannish color all around it, because that tells me all of the singed hair and the charred bits are off of there. Again, that good solid knife with a bit of a point on there helps a great deal. Makes the job much easier. Continue scraping that off, almost there on this side. So I've pretty well got this whole side of this mosogut already singed, and the hair is all off of there. I got it to the right down to the skin everywhere on this side. However, if we look here where those nostrils actually were, we can see there's hair still inside them. No hair around here, but we're going to go ahead and burn that out as well. So with this, I'm just going to throw it on top and try and let those nostril hairs burn out of there, as well as sort of burns off any impurities from that side as well, so it's completely sterilized by fire and heat on both sides. This nose is the same, ready to scrape, so I'm gonna scrape that off while we let those nostril hairs burn out and heat up in there, because right now they're a little wet from the juices coming out and the oils from the musugut. So I'm going to go ahead and scrape this, and then we'll show you how to completely burn those nostril hairs out of there.